Chosen one. You are not here by accident. This moment found you because heaven aligned your steps with divine timing. What you are sensing in your spirit right now is not imagination. It is confirmation. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer, prepared long before you knew to ask. The Anointed One does not chase provision. Provision responds to obedience. As Scripture declares, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, and this is the hour of release. Still your heart. Open your spirit. What is about to unfold will redefine your understanding of favor, purpose, and destiny. Chosen one. Before anything unfolds in the next 24 hours, you must understand why this moment carries weight that feels heavier than time itself. This is not excitement. This is recognition. Something inside you already knows this is different. You are not standing at the edge of another lesson. You are standing at the edge of proclamation. All year long, you have been moving through days that felt ordinary on the surface, but were loaded underneath. Quiet endurance, silent choices, private obedience, nights where you did not quit, even though no one would have blamed you if you did. This is not about numerology or coincidence. This is about divine mechanics. Heaven keeps records not to condemn you, but to confirm you. The 12-12 window is not the moment you become something new. It is the moment heaven announces what you already became in secret. Think about the difference between learning to walk and being invited onto the stage. You did the learning alone. The stage is public. And what makes this portal sacred is not what you will receive, but what has already been proven. Chosen, one God has been watching you without interrupting. That silence you questioned was not absence, it was trust. There were moments when doing the right thing cost you emotionally, financially, relationally. Moments where nobody clapped. Moments where your integrity felt invisible. Heaven saw every one of them. I say this personally because I know what it feels like to beg God for a sign and hear nothing back. I know what it feels like to keep showing up while wondering if it even matters. There were seasons in my own life where obedience felt unrewarded, where staying clean cost more than compromising would have. And yet later I understood. God was not ignoring me. He was allowing the transformation to become permanent, chosen. One transformation that is rushed can collapse under blessing. That is why heaven waited, because what you are about to step into cannot sit on an unstable foundation. The reason the delay felt unbearable is because the assignment is weighty. And here is the part that shifts everything. About 5 days ago, something happened that tested the final layer of your character. It did not feel spiritual. It felt personal. It felt unfair. It felt like too much. It may have been a betrayal, a sudden loss, a humiliation that hit a vulnerable place, something that would have justified shutting down, lashing out, or walking away, but you did not perform. You responded naturally. You stayed composed. You chose dignity over drama. You chose movement over collapse. You closed the door quietly and kept building, and that reaction mattered more than you know. Angels do not measure how loud your prayers are when life is easy. They measure who you are when everything falls apart. Anyone can praise when things are working. But when pain knocks the wind out of you and you still choose integrity that reveals formation, not effort, nature, that is why heaven moved quickly. The moment you passed that unseen test authorization was released. This explains why the last few days felt strange, why certain worries suddenly lost power, why people who drained you faded without confrontation, why clarity replaced anxiety without explanation. That was not time healing wounds. That was heaven removing interference. Chosen one. This is where financial breakthrough enters the picture, not as luck, but as trust. Heaven does not release resources until it knows they will not own you. Wealth responds to stewardship. Promotion responds to maturity. Scripture says the blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow. The sorrow comes when blessing arrives before formation. You have been prepared to receive without losing yourself. That is why God is not whispering this moment. He is announcing it. The scream is not anger, it is pride. The kind of pride that comes when a child finishes something difficult without shortcuts, when integrity proves stronger than pressure, and when that proclamation releases, reality begins to reorganize. Opportunities align. Provision finds you. Decisions become clear. You stop chasing and start recognizing. But this is only the beginning of the explanation, because what heaven saw in you 5 days ago triggered more than a blessing. It activated a meeting, and what was discussed in that meeting explains why your life will not return to normal after this window closes. Stay with me. Chosen one. What happened after that unseen test was not symbolic. It was procedural. Heaven does not move emotionally. It moves intentionally. When your response revealed that your integrity was no longer situational but natural, a threshold was crossed. That is when a meeting was called. Not metaphorically, not poetically, but structurally. A review of your journey took place not to judge you, but to confirm something heaven needed to know before releasing what was reserved for you. This is where many misunderstand the silence of God. Silence is not absence. Silence is observation. For months, even years, you were allowed to walk without visible interference because heaven was watching how you carried weight when nobody was correcting you. How you handled disappointment when no one was guiding you. How you treated people who could no longer benefit you. These moments mattered more than your prayers for increase, because increase without character always becomes burden instead of blessing. I say this as someone who once prayed desperately for doors to open, only to realize later that the closed doors were mercy. There were seasons where I thought God was withholding, when in reality He was protecting me from receiving something too early. I had to learn that not every delay is denial. Some delays are refinement, and refinement always feels personal before it feels purposeful. Chosen one. The meeting that took place was not about your mistakes. It was about your consistency. Angels documented moments. You forgot moments. You minimized moments you thought were insignificant. The day you chose honesty instead of advantage. The moment you walked away from something that could have paid you but cost you your peace. The nights you questioned God openly, not with polished words, but with raw honesty. Heaven values honesty more than performance. There is a reason Scripture says God is close to the brokenhearted. Brokenhearted people speak truth without filters, and that truth creates relationship, not distance. Your conversations with God in your lowest moments were not disrespect, they were intimacy. You did not walk away when it hurt. You stayed engaged. That is rare. That is why attention shifted toward you. This is also where financial transfer begins to make sense. Divine wealth is not simply money moving hands, it is authority moving realms. Heaven does not fund chaos, it funds alignment. When your life demonstrates that resources will flow through you rather than trap you, permission is granted. That is why clarity began to replace confusion. That is why solutions started appearing instead of stress. That is why you felt lighter without anything visibly changing. God does not release provision first. He releases capacity to hold blessing without identity loss, capacity to steward increase without pride, capacity to bless others without resentment. You have been expanded internally, and expansion always feels uncomfortable before it feels powerful. Chosen one. The reason this moment feels heavy is because it is layered. This is not only about what you will receive, it is about what you will become to others. Heaven saw something in your pattern that separated you from many who are also chosen. When pain came, you did not only ask why, you asked what for. That question alone reveals maturity. People who ask what for are builders. They turn suffering into systems, lessons into wisdom wounds, into guidance. That is why what comes next will not isolate you. It will position you. Your presence will begin to carry reassurance, not because you are trying to help, but because peace follows you now. You will notice people opening up around you without knowing why. Opportunities will present themselves through conversations that seem casual, and resources will arrive through channels you did not expect. This is not randomness. This is alignment. I have lived long enough to know that real breakthrough rarely arrives loudly. It often arrives disguised as clarity, as the right idea at the right time, as a meeting that answers multiple prayers at once, as a release from anxiety you thought you had to live with forever. And when it comes, you will recognize it not by excitement, but by peace. Chosen one. The reason heaven waited until now is because you are no longer seeking validation. You are seeking purpose. And purpose attracts provision effortlessly. This is why the scream is not drama, it is declaration. It is heaven saying you are ready to be trusted publicly because you proved yourself privately. But there is more. Because this meeting did not only review your past, it authorized your future. And what was approved goes beyond personal blessing. It touches assignment, influence, responsibility. In the next part, I am going to explain what was authorized during that meeting, why your life will begin affecting others without effort, and how to move through the next 24 hours without resisting what heaven is trying to give you. Do not rush. Do not overthink. Stay present. Because the next layer of this message will explain how to receive without fear, and how to step forward without shrinking when the door finally opens. Chosen one. There is a moment when heaven stops evaluating and starts entrusting. That moment does not arrive with noise, it arrives with stillness. You may have noticed a strange calm settling into your decisions recently, a quiet knowing that does not need confirmation. That is not emotional detachment. That is authority forming. When the internal noise quiets, it is because the internal alignment is complete. This is why what is unfolding now feels different from every breakthrough you imagined before. You are not chasing a result, you are being positioned to receive. There is a difference. Chasing comes from lack, receiving comes from readiness. Heaven does not hand weight to hands that still shake. It waits until the grip is steady. You have reached that steadiness through pressure, not comfort. There were moments you did not feel spiritual at all. You were just tired, still showing up, still choosing right, still refusing to let bitterness harden you. That is where authority was forged, not in prayer alone, but in posture. You did not become better because life got easier. Life became quieter because you became stronger. This is also why financial increase is tied to this moment. Money is not neutral. It amplifies what already exists. If fear lives inside, money magnifies fear. If peace lives inside, money becomes a tool. Heaven waited until peace became your baseline. until you no longer needed wealth to prove worth. That is when transfer becomes safe. You may soon notice an idea returning to you, something you once thought was unrealistic, something you put aside because timing was wrong or resources were lacking. That idea did not die. It was waiting for you to grow into it. Growth is not measured by skill alone. It is measured by restraint, by discernment, by knowing when to move and when to stay still. I remember a season in my own life when opportunity finally arrived after years of delay. I thought I would feel triumphant. Instead, I felt calm, almost quiet. That is when I realized the real miracle had already happened inside me. The external change was simply catching up. That is what is happening for you now. Chosen one. The reason you feel a release in your chest is because you are no longer carrying what was never meant to be permanent. Anxiety was a tutor, not a tenant. It taught you to listen, to prepare, to lean inward. Now its assignment is finished. Peace is taking over the space it occupied, and with peace comes precision. You will begin noticing what aligns and what does not without effort. Certain invitations will no longer interest you. Certain conversations will feel unnecessary. This is not pride. This is focus. When heaven entrusts you with more distractions, lose appeal. You are also stepping into a season where help arrives without begging. Support shows up without manipulation. People invest because they recognize stability. This is how divine provision works. It flows toward order. It finds structure. It partners with consistency. There is a verse that says, "Promotion does not come from the east or the west, but from the Lord." That truth becomes real when you realize no one needed to approve you for this moment to arrive. No gatekeeper could stop it. No delay could cancel it. It was scheduled by alignment, not effort. What you must guard now is not opportunity, but posture. Do not rush to explain what is happening to people who have not walked with you through the process. Let fruit speak. Let peace answer questions. When you move from proving to embodying, explanations become unnecessary. You may also feel a desire to give more, not just financially, but relationally, to be present, to listen, to encourage without fixing. That is not coincidence. As you were strengthened, you are now becoming a place of strength for others, not by preaching, but by presence. This is where surrender becomes subtle, not dramatic, but daily. Surrender looks like trusting clarity over fear, choosing rest over overthinking, allowing support instead of resisting it, receiving without guilt. These are signs of maturity, not weakness. Chosen one, the next 24 hours are not about watching the clock. They are about staying open, not forcing anything, not testing signs, just remaining aligned. Heaven does not need your anxiety to act. It responds to your availability. When things begin to move, and they will let them move naturally, do not grip what is meant to flow. Do not cling to what was only meant to carry you part way. You are not losing anything. You are upgrading. You survived without becoming small. You endured without becoming hard. That is why what comes next will not overwhelm you. It will fit. And when you look back, you will realize the greatest miracle was not what arrived, but who you became while waiting. Chosen one. There is a sacred responsibility that comes after alignment, and it is rarely talked about. It is the responsibility of allowing your life to be seen without shrinking. Many people pray for elevation, but subconsciously fear visibility. They are comfortable surviving quietly, but uncomfortable being trusted publicly. What is happening now is not only about provision or breakthrough. It is about placement. You may notice that situations are arranging themselves in ways you did not orchestrate. Conversations open doors you did not knock on. Ideas attract interest without you selling them. This is not coincidence. This is heaven shifting you from preparation mode into positioning mode. Preparation happens in isolation. Positioning happens in plain sight. This is often where discomfort returns not as pain, but as exposure. Being seen requires courage of a different kind. You are no longer hiding wounds. You are carrying wisdom. People will sense that you have been somewhere they have not, even if you never speak about it. That recognition may feel heavy at first. Let it settle. Weight is not meant to crush you. It is meant to ground you. There was a time in my own journey when I confused humility with invisibility. I thought staying small was spiritual. I thought declining opportunity was noble. But I later realized that refusing what God offers can be as misaligned as chasing what He has not given. Humility is not saying no to growth. Humility is stewarding growth without ego. Chosen. One financial increase is not only about numbers, it is about influence. Money follows influence because influence creates movement, and movement requires trust. Heaven does not pour resources into places where fear still governs decisions. That is why courage has been forming quietly inside you. Not loud courage, calm courage, the kind that does not need approval. You may also begin to sense a shift in how you relate to time. Urgency without anxiety. Patience without passivity. You will know when to move and when to wait without spiraling. This is discernment. Discernment is not mystical. It is clarity born from alignment. When your internal compass is calibrated, direction feels simple. Do not be surprised if certain relationships begin to change. Not dramatically, just subtly. Some people will not know how to relate to you now that you are no longer asking for permission. Others will lean in because they feel safe around your stability. Let both happen without resistance. Seasons change relationships the same way growth changes clothing. Not everything fits forever. There is also a generosity that begins to rise in this season. Not driven by guilt or obligation, but by overflow. You will want to bless, invest, support, and contribute because you finally trust that there is more where that came from. Scarcity thinking dissolves when provision proves consistent. This is a sign that financial healing is taking place, not just increase. You may remember times when you feared losing what little you had. That fear shaped cautious decisions. That season taught you discipline. Now a different lesson begins. Learning to trust flow without recklessness. Learning to receive without suspicion. Learning to rest without losing momentum. Chosen one. Heaven does not rush you into this. It introduces it gently, one aligned step at a time, one confirmation layered on another. You do not need to announce anything. You do not need to explain your process. Those who need to understand will recognize the fruit. There is a verse that speaks about light not being hidden under a basket. For a long time you were hidden for protection. Now, hiding would be limitation. Light does not force itself. It simply shines. And what is meant to respond will. As movement increases, so will moments of stillness. Do not confuse stillness with stagnation. Sometimes heaven pauses you to recalibrate direction, not to delay progress. Listen during those pauses. They often carry the most precise instruction. You may also feel a stronger pull toward integrity in small things. Details. Commitments. Words spoken lightly before. This is not pressure. This is stewardship. When influence grows, precision matters more. The good news is you are equipped for this. You have already practiced consistency when no one was watching. Chosen. 1. This season will reveal how much you have changed. Situations that once triggered you will now pass without reaction. Opportunities that once intimidated you will feel natural. That is the evidence of readiness. Let the next days unfold without forcing interpretation. Signs do not need to be hunted. They arrive clearly when alignment is present. Focus on staying open, grounded, and grateful. Gratitude keeps the channel clear. Presence keeps fear out. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into order, a higher order, one that requires less effort and more trust. And as this order settles, you will realize that what you thought you were waiting for has been waiting for you. This is not the climax. It is the shift. The quiet turn where momentum becomes sustainable, where blessing becomes assignment, where increase becomes impact. And you are ready not because you feel fearless, but because fear no longer controls your movement. Stay present. Stay steady. What is unfolding now will make sense, not all at once, but all together. Chosen 1. There is a final internal shift that happens just before momentum becomes irreversible. It is subtle, almost unnoticeable, yet everything depends on it. This shift is not about believing harder or doing more. It is about allowing your identity to catch up with your assignment. Many people miss this moment because they are still negotiating with who they used to be. You have lived long enough in survival mode that peace can feel unfamiliar. When calm arrives, the mind looks for problems. When provision begins to stabilize, the nervous system expects loss. This is not lack of faith. It is conditioning, and heaven is patient with this process. What matters is that you do not let old reflexes govern new territory. There may be moments now when you feel an urge to rush to lock things down to secure everything immediately. Pause. Rushing is residue of fear, not wisdom. What is meant for you does not need to be trapped. It responds to trust. Flow is sustained by confidence, not control. I learned this the hard way. There was a season where breakthrough finally arrived for me, and my instinct was to overmanage it. I tightened everything. I overthought decisions. I tried to protect the blessing instead of stewarding it. It took time to realize that fear of loss can choke increase faster than lack ever could. What you grip too tightly cannot breathe. Chosen 1. This is why surrender becomes practical now. Not emotional surrender, but daily surrender. Letting plans adjust, letting help arrive, letting people contribute, letting resources move. Surrender at this stage looks like cooperation with flow instead of resistance disguised as responsibility. You may also notice that your intuition is sharper. You sense timing more clearly. You feel when to speak and when to remain silent. This is not spiritual superiority. This is familiarity with alignment. When you have spent years listening inwardly because nothing outside made sense, you develop a refined inner ear. That ear will guide you through this season. Financially, you are moving from scarcity management into stewardship. Scarcity management is about preventing loss. Stewardship is about multiplying value. They require different mindsets. One hoards, the other circulates. One reacts, the other plans. You are learning to think in systems, not emergencies. This does not mean reckless generosity or blind risk. It means intentional movement. It means asking different questions. Not how do I protect this, but how do I position this? Not how do I keep this, but how do I grow this responsibly? These questions signal maturity. Relationships will also mirror this shift. You will feel less urgency to convince, prove, or be understood. That energy frees you. When you stop trying to manage perception, presence becomes enough. People either align or drift, and neither outcome threatens you. There is a quiet authority forming in how you say no. No without guilt. No without explanation. No without fear of abandonment. This is not hardness. This is clarity. Clarity protects energy. Energy sustains assignment. You may remember times when you tolerated things because you feared losing connection or opportunity. That fear has loosened its grip. Not because you no longer value people, but because you now value alignment more. Alignment always brings the right people back in the right form. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of rest in this phase. Rest is not withdrawal. Rest is calibration. Muscles grow during recovery, not exertion. So does spiritual capacity. If your body asks for stillness, honor it. Your nervous system is catching up to your new pace. There will be moments when nothing seems to happen externally. Resist the urge to interpret this as stagnation. Some movements are internal by design. Foundations settle before structures rise. Silence does not mean inactivity. It often means precision. You are also stepping into a season where gratitude deepens. Not forced gratitude, settled gratitude. The kind that does not deny hardship, but contextualizes it. You can acknowledge how far you have come without reopening wounds. That is healing. The desire to give back will grow naturally, not from obligation, but from overflow. You will want to support others, share insight, open doors. Do this wisely. You're not meant to carry everyone. You're meant to influence by example. Boundaries make generosity sustainable. Chosen one. This is where trust becomes embodied. You're no longer trying to believe things will work out. You simply move as if they will. That posture changes outcomes. Confidence without arrogance, expectation without entitlement, faith without noise. As this settles, you will realize that the breakthrough was not a moment, but a transition, a shift from tension to rhythm, from effort to alignment, from asking to recognizing. Life will still have challenges, but they will not define you. They will inform you. Stay anchored, stay honest, stay open. The season you are entering does not require performance. It requires presence. And presence is something you have already mastered through endurance. What unfolds next will not overwhelm you. It will match you. And when you look back, you will see that every delay, every test, every quiet victory prepared you not just to receive more, but to carry it well. Chosen one. There comes a phase when alignment must translate into action without strain. This is where many falter, not because they lack faith, but because they mistake momentum for pressure. What you are stepping into now does not require you to run faster. It requires you to move cleaner. Cleaner decisions, cleaner motives, cleaner energy. Precision becomes the new power. You may feel invitations forming that do not look dramatic, a conversation that feels timely, a door that opens quietly, an idea that returns with clarity instead of urgency. Pay attention to what arrives without force. Heaven often chooses subtlety when it trusts you with weight. Loud opportunities attract ego. Quiet ones require discernment. There will be moments when your past tries to speak louder than your present. Old memories, old fears, old narratives about how things usually end. Do not fight them aggressively, simply do not obey them. You are not denying where you came from. You are refusing to let it lead. Leadership begins when memory stops being the authority. I remember a season when every step forward felt suspicious because I had been disappointed so many times before. I learned that caution can look like wisdom, but still be fear. Wisdom listens. Fear anticipates loss. The difference is subtle, but the outcomes are not. You are learning to trust the signal of peace over the noise of habit. Financially, this is where structure matters, not rigid control, but intentional design. Order invites multiplication, chaos repels it. You may feel drawn to organize, simplify, and clarify areas you once avoided. This is not perfectionism, it is preparation. Increase requires containers. Containers must be ready before the pour. Spiritually, your prayers may change tone. Less asking, more listening, less pleading, more agreement. This is not distance, it is partnership. When your will aligns with heaven, conversation shifts from request to cooperation. You begin to move together rather than waiting for permission. There is also a refinement happening in how you speak. Words carry weight now. You will notice that careless language feels uncomfortable. This is not restriction, it is stewardship. When influence increases, speech shapes environments. You are becoming aware of the authority carried in your voice. Relationships will continue to adjust. Some people will misunderstand your calm as indifference. Others will interpret your boundaries as distance. Let them interpret. You do not owe explanations for growth. Those who are meant to walk with you will feel the safety of your steadiness and adjust their pace. You may experience moments where you are tempted to return to familiar struggle because it feels known. Resist this gently. Familiar pain is not safer than unfamiliar peace. Peace may feel empty at first because it does not demand constant attention. That emptiness is space being made for creation. Chosen one. You are also learning how to receive affirmation without letting it define you. Compliments will come. Recognition will appear. Let them pass through you without lodging. Identity rooted in approval becomes unstable. Identity rooted in alignment remains steady regardless of response. There will be days when you feel deeply connected and days when you feel neutral. Neutral is not absence. Neutral is rest. Do not chase emotional highs as proof of progress. Stability is the sign of maturity. You are no longer being driven by intensity. You are guided by clarity. You may find yourself drawn to invest in long-term things, skills, relationships, systems. This is a sign that your mind is shifting from survival to sustainability. Survival thinks about today. Sustainability thinks about legacy. Not legacy as fame, but as continuity. What lasts beyond effort. When challenges arise now, and they will feel different. Less personal, less overwhelming. You will respond instead of react. That is evidence of growth. Problems no longer threaten identity, they simply require solutions. There is a scripture that speaks of being rooted and built up, established and overflowing with gratitude. That order matters. Roots first, structure next, overflow last. You are in the establishing phase. Gratitude will follow naturally, not as a discipline, but as a response. Pay attention to what drains you and what energizes you. Energy is information. Heaven often guides through vitality. What aligns strengthens you. What misaligns exhausts you. This awareness will save you years of unnecessary struggle if you honor it. Chosen one, do not underestimate how far you have come. You are no longer negotiating your worth. You are embodying it. You are no longer asking if you are ready. You are moving as someone who knows readiness is proven through movement, not feelings. As this phase unfolds, keep your posture simple. Stay honest, stay teachable, stay grounded. Avoid comparison. Your path is calibrated to your capacity. What is meant for you will not require you to become someone else to receive it. What you are building now may not look impressive immediately. Foundations rarely do, but they carry everything that follows. Trust the quiet strength of this season. Trust the pace. Trust the order. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not catching up. You are arriving, and arrival does not announce itself loudly. It settles, it stabilizes, it endures. Chosen one. There is a quiet threshold you cross when trust becomes embodied rather than intentional. You're no longer reminding yourself to believe. You're moving as someone who already knows. This shift does not announce itself, yet it changes how you interpret everything around you. Events no longer feel random. Delays no longer feel personal. Even challenges arrive with less emotional charge because you understand they are information, not opposition. You may notice now that your intuition speaks before your thoughts catch up. You sense when something is aligned or misaligned almost instantly. This is not instinct alone. This is familiarity with truth. When you have spent years questioning, waiting, and discerning, recognition becomes effortless. You do not need long explanations anymore. A quiet yes or no rises naturally within you. This is also why discernment around money, work, and opportunity becomes sharper. You are not impressed by size or speed. You are attentive to fit. You ask yourself whether something strengthens your peace or subtly drains it. That awareness protects you. Not everything that looks profitable is beneficial. Not everything that pays quickly builds well. You are learning to value sustainability over spectacle. There was a time when survival forced you to say yes too quickly. Yes to avoid loss. Yes to avoid conflict. Yes to stay afloat. That version of you was doing the best it could. Honor it, but do not let it lead. The you that exists now has options, and options require discernment more than desperation. You may feel moments of grief for who you were, not because you want to return, but because you recognize how much you carried. Allow that grief without judgment. Grief is not weakness. It is acknowledgement. It is the body releasing what it no longer needs to hold. Healing often arrives disguised as emotion, chosen. One this season also brings a refinement of courage. Courage no longer looks like pushing through fear. It looks like trusting yourself enough to pause, enough to wait, enough to walk away from what is good but not right. That kind of courage requires confidence, not force. I remember learning that saying no was not a rejection of opportunity, but an affirmation of direction. Direction narrows choices so energy can deepen. Without direction, abundance scatters. With direction, it multiplies. You are stepping into this understanding now. Relationships will continue to reorganize gently. Some connections will deepen because they are rooted in mutual growth. Others will fade because they were anchored in past versions of you. Let both happen naturally. Clinging delays alignment. Release creates space. You may also feel drawn toward environments that nourish you rather than stimulate you. Quieter spaces, thoughtful conversations, time that feels spacious instead of rushed. This is not withdrawal from life, it is recalibration. Depth always follows noise reduction. Your sense of purpose will also feel less dramatic but more grounded. You are no longer searching for a single defining moment. You are living purpose through consistency, through how you show up, through how you steward what you have. Purpose is not always loud, it is often faithful. There will be moments when you look back at things that once devastated you and feel something unexpected. Gratitude not because they were good, but because they refined you. This does not mean you excuse harm or pain. It means you recognize growth without reopening wounds. That is closure. Chosen one. Your confidence now comes from alignment, not outcome. You trust your process, even when results are still forming. This keeps you steady when external validation fluctuates. You no longer rise and fall with circumstances. You remain anchored. As this anchor strengthens, you will notice that fear loses its grip. Fear may still speak, but it no longer commands. It becomes background noise rather than instruction. You acknowledge it without obeying it. That is mastery. You are also becoming more selective with your energy. You do not engage every argument. You do not correct every misunderstanding. You do not explain every decision. Silence becomes strategic. Presence becomes sufficient. There is a verse that speaks about wisdom being justified by her children. In time, fruit explains what words cannot. You are learning to trust fruit, to let results speak, to let time confirm alignment. Chosen one. The season you are in does not require you to become someone new. It requires you to trust who you already are. The formation has happened. The refining has worked. Now comes expression. Expression does not mean exposure. It means embodiment, living from the inside out, letting decisions flow from clarity rather than reaction, letting peace guide pace, letting trust replace urgency. As you continue forward, remember this: you are not fragile. You are formed. You are not behind. You are aligned. You are not waiting for permission. You are walking in it. What unfolds next will feel natural, not forced. And when others ask how you did it, you may not have a dramatic answer. You stayed. You listened. You aligned. And you allowed what was built in silence to stand in the open. That is the power of this season. Chosen one. There is a stage where alignment becomes visible, not because you announce it, but because your life begins to speak without effort. This is where movement replaces preparation and embodiment replaces intention. You are no longer practicing trust. You are living from it. That difference may seem subtle, but it changes how everything responds to you. You may notice that decisions now feel lighter, not because they are smaller, but because you are no longer carrying them alone. There is a sense of cooperation with life itself. Doors do not need to be forced. When something is meant to open, it opens with timing that feels precise rather than rushed. When something closes, it does so cleanly without drama. This is not luck. This is order. Order often arrives quietly after long seasons of chaos. Chaos taught you adaptability. Order teaches you stewardship. Stewardship is knowing what to engage, what to ignore, and what to protect. You are learning that not everything requires your response. Silence has become a tool, not a withdrawal. There was a time when you felt responsible for holding everything together. People, outcomes, emotions. That weight shaped you, but it was never meant to be permanent. Now responsibility is being redistributed. You are not abandoning care. You are allowing balance. Balance does not mean less impact. It means sustainable impact. You may also feel your confidence stabilizing. Not confidence that demands attention, but confidence that does not flinch. You are no longer startled by change. You adapt without panic. You adjust without losing direction. That is the sign of internal security. Financially, this is where discernment becomes habit rather than effort. You are no longer tempted by quick wins that cost peace. You are thinking in terms of longevity. You ask whether something aligns with who you are becoming, not just what it offers now. This protects you from cycles that look productive but drain you over time. There is also a deeper sense of self-respect forming. You treat your time differently, you protect your energy, you honor your limits without apology. This is not selfishness. This is stewardship. When your inner world is respected, your outer world follows suit. You may remember times when you tolerated chaos because it felt familiar. Familiarity is powerful, but it is not always safe. Now peace feels more familiar than tension. That is growth. Peace no longer feels empty, it feels full of possibility. Chosen one, you are also learning to trust pauses. Pauses are no longer interpreted as setbacks. They are understood as calibration. Just as breath creates rhythm between movement, pauses create sustainability between actions. Ignoring pauses leads to burnout. Honoring them leads to clarity. Your sense of identity is also consolidating. You are no longer fragmented between roles, expectations, and survival strategies. There is a coherence emerging. You feel like the same person in different rooms. That integrity is powerful. People sense it even if they cannot name it. There may be moments when others project expectations onto you because they sense strength. Be mindful here. Strength does not mean availability to everything. Choose wisely where you invest yourself. Influence grows best when it is intentional. You may also notice a quiet joy surfacing, not excitement. Joy, a steady contentment that exists even when nothing extraordinary is happening. This joy is not dependent on circumstances. It is rooted in alignment. It is one of the clearest signs that you are living from your center, chosen one. This season is not asking you to prove anything. It is asking you to remain honest. Honest with yourself. Honest with your limits. Honest with your desires. Authenticity now protects you more than effort ever did. There is a verse that speaks of wisdom as peaceable and gentle. That wisdom is shaping you. You are becoming firm without being rigid, clear without being harsh, decisive without being defensive. This balance is rare and it is valuable. As you move forward, remember that growth does not always look like expansion. Sometimes it looks like refinement, fewer distractions, clearer priorities, deeper focus. These are signs of maturity, not reduction. You are no longer being shaped by what you fear losing. You are guided by what you are called to build. That shift frees you from anxiety. Anxiety thrives on uncertainty. Purpose thrives on clarity. Chosen one. The season you are walking through will not demand constant explanation. It will be understood through consistency, through the way you show up, through the way you move, through the peace you carry. Let what is unfolding continue without interruption. Do not rush conclusions. Do not force outcomes. Trust the rhythm that has formed. You did not arrive here by accident. You were shaped for this pace, this responsibility, this clarity. And as you continue, know this. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming more fully yourself. That is the quiet miracle happening now. Chosen one, as this rhythm stabilizes, you may begin to notice how naturally your life is aligning without effort. Tasks that once felt heavy now feel manageable. Decisions that once drained you now arrive with clarity. This is not because life suddenly became easy, but because you are no longer resisting your own growth. Resistance consumed energy. Alignment restores it. There is also a deepening sense of discernment forming quietly within you. You no longer need every detail to feel secure. You sense direction before logic catches up. This does not make you careless. It makes you grounded. Grounded people do not rush because they trust the ground beneath them. You may look back at earlier versions of yourself and feel compassion rather than regret. Compassion means integration has taken place. You are no longer fighting your past or trying to outrun it. You have gathered what was useful and released what no longer serves. That is maturity. Chosen one, pay attention to how your body responds to this season. The tension that once lived in your shoulders, your chest, your breath is easing. Your body is learning that it no longer has to stay alert for collapse. Safety is becoming familiar. Safety allows creativity. Creativity allows expansion. There will be moments when old habits try to reappear, especially under stress. Do not judge yourself. Simply notice and choose differently. Growth is not about perfection. It is about awareness paired with choice. You now have both. Your relationship with time is also changing. You are less frantic about the future and less trapped in the past. You are present. Presence multiplies effectiveness. One focused hour now does more than 10 anxious ones before. This is a sign that your energy is concentrated rather than scattered. Chosen one. You are entering a phase where small, consistent actions will produce lasting results. This is not the season of dramatic leaps. It is the season of steady building. Do not underestimate this. Quiet consistency outlasts loud bursts every time. You may also sense a deeper respect for yourself emerging. You honor your word. You keep your boundaries. You choose rest when needed. This self-respect creates internal order, and internal order attracts external stability. This is how environments begin to reflect inner alignment. As you continue forward, remember that you do not need to announce who you are becoming. Life will reveal it naturally. Those meant to recognize it will. Those who do not are not required to understand. Chosen one, allow yourself to trust this pace. Nothing is being missed. Nothing is being delayed. What is unfolding now is sustainable, integrated, and real. You are not moving toward wholeness. You are living from it. Let this awareness remain with you. It will guide you gently, firmly, and faithfully into whatever comes next. Chosen one. You are not leaving this moment the same way you entered it. What has been spoken over you is not symbolic, and it is not delayed. A supernatural transfer is already in motion. Heaven has marked this window, and you are standing in your exact Kairos moment, the appointed time where preparation meets release. As you step forward from here, do not rush and do not doubt. Stay aligned, stay faithful. Let gratitude guard your heart, because what is unfolding is not something you force, it is something you receive. The clarity you need will come. The signs will confirm themselves. The doors meant for you will open without strain. What God has forged in secret is now being acknowledged in the open. Anointed one. You have been entrusted because you are ready to carry what is coming without losing yourself. Walk gently. Walk confidently. Walk knowing that heaven goes before you and stands behind you. You are not alone in this crossing. You are covered, guided, and sustained by divine wisdom that does not fail. If your spirit bears witness to this moment, honor it. You may write 1212 in the comments as an act of agreement, not obligation. If you feel led, share this message with another chosen one who is standing at the edge of their own awakening. And if this space continues to nourish your spirit, remain connected so you do not walk this season without guidance. Go forward in peace. Go forward in alignment. Go forward with expectation, not anxiety. What is about to manifest will confirm that every step, every delay, and every quiet act of faith was never wasted. Chosen one, heaven has spoken. And now you walk it out.